You still there? Hi, how are you? Just fine.
Yeah.
Cycle for time. Yeah, well, I say, oh, I'm gonna get back.
So now you have to go.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
If he happens to come in, you just have to click on where it says it's.
Well,
Okay.
There's so many.
He will be connecting tonight for sure. We'll be a few late, but we'll be on. So we get to keep our eye out. Will be the last time I have to hold on my.
We live, Julie?
You are ready to go, sir.
Call the select board to order.
And likewise with the budget committee.
Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. It's St. Patty's Day. We're all looking at home for having dinner.
I had boiled dinner.
Hey, don't make us feel bad.
Somebody planned that out well for you.
Right, starting off, do we have any citizen comments not related to anything that we're going to discuss tonight? Anybody?
Kelly just said she'll be here momentarily.
All right. Okay, tonight we're gonna start off with presentations on social services 4.1. First up, the Waldeboro Food Pantry. We have the food pantry here, I see. How's the food pantry going today?
Well, the food pantry was busy today. Today was the distribution day. All right, so. Passing those along. For anybody that doesn't know who I am, I'm Heidi. I'm one of the volunteers at Waldeboro Food Pantry. We are a 501c3 here in Waldeboro. We primarily serve Waldeboro residents. We also do serve some Noblesboro and some Bremen residents. We serve on average between 450 and 500 individuals at a twice monthly distribution. And we have, aside from the distributions that we do twice a month, we also have a food program where we send, we used to call it a backpack program, and I'm still stuck on that name. But we send groceries home with the children from Miller School and the Head Start program here in Waldeboro. And from the visual that I just gave you, that is a pretty simple explanation of, you know, our income comes in the door through, we have individual contributions, we have community contributions, we have business contributions, we do an annual appeal personally and a business appeal. We've done quite a few collaborations this year. We did a concert at the Broadway Church as a fundraiser. Safe Harbor did a pie sale for us. They did an auction. They sold like a $300 pie. Yay. We have a private citizen who hosts an amazing meal every summer, and that helps fund our Miller Kids program. And most of our expenses, probably about 70% of the funding that we do collect goes to food. And this year has been a challenge. There were some cuts to government programs, which I'm sure you're all aware. The Emergency Food Assistance Program. These are federal level programs, and it's kind of the whole trickle down concept. So that TFAP helps bring food into the food bank, which helps distribute throughout the state of Maine. They just have less to distribute flat out. There's less food. They don't have the money to buy the food. They can't distribute the food. So we have, as a result of that, spent more money on buying food than we have in previous years. There are also cuts to the SNAP program, so we are seeing more people who are struggling because they can't make ends meet. And but I do have to say the client, the clients that we do serve, a lot of them are not repeat customers in a long-term kind of thing. Sometimes it's because of an illness, sometimes it's because of a divorce, sometimes it's because of a job loss. We do serve seniors in our community, and that's more of a fixed group that we do serve. And we serve kids, there's quite a bit of money goes towards feeding the kids in our neighborhoods. And if, I'm also a tree hugger, so, sorry, I printed on both sides. And that just kind of gives you, so total people served over the last, it hasn't gone down. So, back in 2002, we were serving probably about 7,000 people if you were to count each individual by the end of the year. And we are now at just about 11,000. So we see an increase somewhere between 8 to 10% a year. Questions, concerns?
How many families is that?
So it's about 170 families.
And that matches the number of baskets roughly that you hand out during Thanksgiving and during Christmas, the town hands out for that political food pantry, and then also the Christmas basket program that we do. And I would just like to say thank you to the food pantry who generously allows us to borrow their van for our Christmas baskets, and then they always come and help us with anything that we have left. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Do you know how much your costs have increased, if at all, from last year to this year?
Budget wise, about 10% overall.
I think most of us realize it's the federal contributions to efforts decrease, but could you I don't know specifically how that's affected you.
So I think one of the best explanations I've heard is, so TFAP, the emergency, I'm sorry, I throw the acronym around, it's the Emergency Food Assistance Program. Funded by the federal government, and basically they send money out to food banks in each state. So for us, that's Good Shepherd. So Good Shepherd buys food in bulk, and then some of it is free, I guess you would say, and then we also purchase from them. But because we buy in bulk, and our operations manager, Janet, is like the ultimate bargain shopper. We couldn't do what we do if it weren't for her, quite honestly. She can take $5 and turn it into a $30 bag of groceries. But so when programs like TFAP or the SNAP program gets cut, which has been pretty significant this year, and I actually don't statistically know the numbers, but I'd be happy to get them for you. It's a trickle down. So they have less money, so then they have less money to buy products, so then we're not buying things as affordably. So for instance, this year, we used to be able to count on probably getting, say, 80 to 100 1-pound packages of Hamburg every time we would go out, and that was part of our distribution every month. For the last 4 to 5 months, it hasn't been available, which means we then go out and actually buy that at cost to make up for the fact. So when we're not able to buy in bulk from them or even get free from them, then we're taking, and I have to say, the community this year has rocked, because there were so many private citizens and businesses in the area that knew those cuts were happening and came in and said, what can we do? So there were a lot of food drives. Our van was really busy picking up, whether it was at, town office, Panthers Gym and Panthers Pups, Delano's, Hooley Group, like, I'm not gonna remember everybody, but they did peanut butter and jelly drives from First National Bank. So we were off and running, going to all these places, collecting all that food, bringing it back so we could put it back out into the community.
So you don't have a dollar amount difference from previous years to this year?
This is the first, and I can say that we will relatively soon. For us, our financials, because it's our final numbers get put together and to go to the accountant. So then that's when we really know at the end of the year how much we actually spent. And we usually don't do our taxes until October. So that money, we're kind of trying to figure out the trickle down from, because we don't have that type of funding anymore. And it's kind of two-phased, because it's not only do we not necessarily have the ability to buy in bulk or get some of those foods free, we're also seeing more people come to the pantry because they don't have the budget that they used to have. So statistically, I don't have the number, but I'd be happy to get it for you.
I can tell you, at least anecdotally, just from how we did it this year with the food baskets that we distribute during Christmas time, was a lot of thought had to go into how do we get people the same amount of food or even more. So we actually had to change what we bought and how we did things. So we went from a green bowl. So I actually had to calculate how much a green bean casserole costs. And we changed that to provide for the cost of a green bean casserole that we would put in the basket. We then put in pasta instead, so that somebody could have a mac and cheese meal, and they could also have a pasta with tomato sauce meal, because we felt that gave them 2 meals versus 1 side dish, or a meal and a side dish. So those are the things that have to be, it's a struggle, I'm sure. And Janet does a great job. So I can't say enough about Janet, and occasionally I'll call her and say, here's what I'm doing, and she'll tell me what she's doing, but it's just so hard because you were trying to make those dollars go so much further. And we even changed what we did for dessert. We used to do pie crust and pie filling, and this year we had to do cake mix and apples. Because, I already get the apples, I just got a bigger bag of apples, and now everybody did a what's it called, apple dump cake.
Yeah.
But, it was just a way to make that funding go a little bit further.
I just think for the voters, it would be interesting and just to know the community has stepped up, because the federal government funding has dropped off so much. But just to know how much the federal government has cut out and how much the community has already stepped up, and still supporting out of the town budget, but the rest of the community funding and efforts that have gone into it, I think it's very significant,
It's,
and maybe not sustainable in the longer term.
well, we're going to keep doing what we do as long as we can, and this year it's been a lot about, all right, how do we put ourselves out there even more? Where are we going to show up? Who are we going to talk to? How are we going to fundraise more? How many, and even, grants, which we, apply for on the regular, that's getting harder because there are more people out there looking for the same funds. So, some of it is collaboration, like, okay, who's already doing what? Let's not, recreate what somebody else is doing, and who can we collaborate with to make this work better for everybody? So some of that is going to, the food pantry that's down in Brunswick. And so they're looking to make more bulk purchases. So for things like grocery bags and like just to be able to give, you have to hand somebody, I mean, you're not gonna hand them like individually, here's your flour, so you don't think about, the things that you have to spend money on, whether it's plastic bags or cleaning supplies or so. The pantries are coming together and saying, okay, how do we do these things in bulk so we can save a couple bucks here and there so we can spend it on food instead? So
Sorry, I can't, there's, my eyesight's just.
That-
not
yep.
working. On the, 2025 credit cards, the orange block, it's 14 point something%, but I can't make out what that's for.
that is sorry, it's an acronym. It's the Miller Kids Weekend Meals
Okay.
Program.
And the other question I had for you, obviously on the back, your numbers have not decreased. at all
No.
in the last few years, and there's zero reason to think that they will. There's every reason to believe they're only going to increase as more families need your assistance.
Mm.
And more cuts at the federal level, which haven't gone into effect yet, will go into effect in the coming months. And yet your request from the town remained the same as last year. So are you being able to make up that difference strictly from the community and from personal contributions? And do you expect that to continue at a level that would require you not to need more from the town?
That crystal ball would come in really handy right now. We are, it's really hard to know what's coming down the pike, and we're again just trying to like think forward, how are we going to save money in different ways to have more money in our pocket, and honestly, how are we going to fundraise more, and how are we going to probably try to apply for more grants or different grants. And so that has been one of our focuses more recently. We do have one member of our board who has been the focus grant writer. We just had somebody else come on with those same skills. Charlotte. Thank you. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing and somehow it works out. I know that's not a great plan, but
I've just got a comment. I can see over the last 2 or 3 years, I can see a huge improvement on the fundraising and the
Mhm.
things that you guys are doing out there in the public. We see you out there a lot more than we did 4 or 5 years ago. That's for sure. It was great. I think that shows with the contributions, you're starting to see those contributions coming, because people know.
Yeah.
It's not a secret that there's some food insecurities out there, and
yeah, and I think food just really speaks to people, like
Yeah.
sitting down to a family meal is a pretty basic requirement in life. And so, and there's a lot, I do have to say, there's a lot of people that have come through the doors at one point in time or another that come back after the fact when they're okay again. They're like, all right, how can I help? What
Right.
can I do?
Yeah.
So,
and to kind of off what Kelly was talking about, you're not asking more money from the town. And my thought is because you're realizing that it's gonna affect some of your clients.
well, I mean, really.
They're all most of them are taxpayers.
And I feel like you guys, everybody's going through the same struggle, like. You're gonna squeeze every last penny out of every last dime you can. So for us, if we can manage to sustain and keep doing what we're doing, we appreciate, what you all do for us. And it's not, I mean, the money's nice. I'm not gonna say it's not, but it's also just, the vote of confidence too, that, and the cooperation.
Are we anticipating proposing similar to we did last year where some of these funds are requested?
I did not anticipate it in the budget, but you can make that decision. I didn't want to assume.
Which I would hope that, my thought is we do that, like, just like we did last year, after okay, what other resources do we have available to help out?
Right.
I'm sure you folks know what we did.
Yeah.
Charlotte,
Come on,
make
yep.
sure you- How's that Philbrook Foundation looking?
Yeah, we have that nice spending policy that I handed that out last meeting and we're well within it. But the same now.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do we don't vote on this right now.
You don't have to vote on it right now. You want to hear the rest of the presentation. Then you can vote on it afterwards.
Thank you for your time and your energy. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
John, just one more comment. Heidi,
Yeah.
I think if you could get some sense of the impact of the federal spending reductions, those cuts. I mean, that's really important.
Mhm.
And if people know about that, maybe it would motivate more people to call their representatives and
Yeah.
senator and.
Yeah, I think part of the problem has been that it's been kind of fuzzy about, okay, what are the, like, what is actually going to happen, you know, and, so as those are solidifying, then it's easier for us to figure out what those numbers actually mean to us. But yeah, feel free to call your senators and complain.
Yes.
And hasn't the state made up some of the difference in the federal cuts, or is that a proposed plan? I know the budget's not finalized yet, but is that something I thought that I had read?
The state sent out. They sent money directly to Good Shepherd. And then Good Shepherd decided how that money was going to be distributed to all of the food banks in Maine. And if I remember correctly, we got $1,000 credit towards purchasing food through the food bank. So I'm not going to complain, but it doesn't make up for what we lost.
Thank you very much.
Okay, looks like next CLC, that would be the Y. The Y is new to come to the table this year.
Yeah,
We are, yes.
they are on the warrant, people, they have enough signatures to make it
It's
on
a good looking
the
prints.
town meeting warrant. So the voters will be making the decision whether it goes on. If it's passed or if it's
Correct.
not really something you're voting with tonight.
Well, thank you for having us. I'm Casey Clark Kelly, CEO of the Central Lincoln County YMCA. This is Kate Burke, our development director at the Y. And she is the one who submitted the proposal and really led the charge to get all the signatures. So thank you to her. So we at the YMCA are a nonprofit organization serving a 10-town service area, Waldeboro being one of those service areas. And 2 years back, we decided on the encouragement of some of our town partners to reinvigorate the town funding request process. It had been put on pause by the previous administration and we decided to bring it back. We were urged to, the towns do have funding to support the needs of the residents. So why shouldn't the Y ask for it? And so we started that process. We didn't have the volunteer bandwidth to get everyone at all town offices. So we didn't start with Waldeboro last year. This is our first year submitting a request. But we essentially break down our requests based on amount of usage of the Y, not just the facility itself, but the services that we provide to residents. And so Newcastle and Damascotta are the biggest use of services for our YMCA, as you would expect, because they're closest to us. It gets, the further you get out on the peninsula or up Route 1 or down, it dwindles a little bit. So we did submit requests to all 10 towns in our service area, I believe, except for Friendship, because the percentage of use was so low, we didn't feel like it was adequate or responsible to ask them for funding. It really just invigorated a goal to serve them better in the future. We have a $3.9 million operating budget. Our revenue is comprised of essentially 3 big pockets. It's our membership dues, our program fees, and fundraising. And we have a pretty diverse network of donors in order to support the fundraising model. We have one big special event and we write grants like crazy. Last year, we were affected by the federal funding cuts as well, not just directly from our regular funders, but from adjacent funders who also were cutting back. So it was a pivoting year. We were able to end the year successfully, but it was a struggle. We had concern moving into this year, but so far we seem to be recouping some of that federal loss. We don't know why. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm talking.
Oh.
Sorry, we're trying to figure out who's outside.
Oh, okay, sorry. But so the funding that we're requesting from you really supports our mission-based programs. And by mission-based, it means that programs that do not sustain themselves. And we either offer them at a cost to the Y and no cost to the individual who's receiving them. Or we subsidize the program in order to offer it. Things like that include like childcare. Childcare, we lose about $135,000 a year to subsidize childcare to keep it affordable for family. Programs like Help Yourself Shelf, Teen Snacks, our chronic disease management programs that serve different chronic diseases, school cooking classes where Waldeboro kids come down and cook with us. We subsidize or provide those for free to all of them. In the pamphlet that you have kind of put some numbers to those types of programs. This also includes additional outreach activities and any scholarships that we provide for your residents that either can't afford or have special circumstances. They can't afford a membership or the full program fee. We, as you all hopefully know, we had a very healthy and robust partnership with the town of Waldeboro with our community navigation program when we first launched it back in 2020. And because of all the great work, and a lot of the work was done with the Waldeboro residents to really make it as robust as it was, we were able to be recognized by the county and they took over funding that program. So the funding request we're making today does not include the community navigation program because that is already fully funded by the county. Any questions? Yes.
You had said that 7% of the child care enrollment is coming from Waldeboro. Do you have a number? I mean, can you put a number to that?
I would say our enrollment is around 40 kids. So it's a fairly small enrollment. I don't know if Kate knows the answer to this. Does that include after-school program or just early education?
After school is a separate statistic.
I would ask
So-
the same question about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
can you
so
put a
it's-
number?
It would be fairly small, whatever 7% of around 40 kids is.
Okay.
So, but it is convenient having the childcare in Noblesboro because it does serve more Waldeboro residents than we probably would serve if it was in Damascata.
But you're moving.
We are moving, and so that is something Julie and I have actually talked about in the past. What are the opportunities to help support childcare in Waldeboro after this? We are moving the childcare to the main campus in Damascata, hopefully by September of this year.
I saw the post commander yesterday. He told me that they were moving in July. So I
Yes.
figured you were moving around.
Yeah, I just updated Brian, yeah. Yeah.
The teen snacks program,
Mhm.
at 80 teens, I'm guessing that's not Waldeboro, that's total.
It's total, yeah, and it fluctuates based on the day, if we're in between sports seasons, if it's raining outside, but give or take, some days it could be 120, some days it could be 50, but it's just kind of on average.
Just a comment, our, our middle school sends a class of the health students regularly over to learn to cook, and the feedback from that is really very good from both the teachers and the students particularly.
It's wonderful.
It is.
If you haven't been to see a cooking class at the Y, I recommend checking it out. It's very fun. And students love it, and they're eating great vegetables that they wouldn't eat otherwise potentially.
And that's what you'll see in this first part on the back. They're referencing the Farms at the Y program. And we offered 12 classes to Waldeboro students in the last year, so.
Oh, sure,
Just
sorry.
wondering if you received any funding from schools, like any private schools or public schools?
We don't. Yeah, so the only really income or revenue exchange we have with the school system is if they lease space from us or rent space. Like right now, Great Salt Bay Elementary doesn't have enough space for their gym program. So they lease our basketball courts on Tuesdays and Thursdays for almost the full day. They have the money to spend on that type of rental and we have the space to give essentially. So that's about it. Yeah.
I got a quick, I don't know if you can answer this. Do we know the number of school age kids that use the facility over there on a regular basis? Like memberships, because your memberships, it costs to be a member over there,
It does cost to be a member. The youth memberships are the cheapest membership that we offer.
which is how much?
Any idea?
I don't have it.
It's not a lot, but I can tell you, I can email it to you. I believe it's somewhere around $20 a month. Maybe it might be less than that.
Do we know how many Waldeboro kids, I call them kids?
Yeah, we didn't run the numbers for a specific age group, just the number of total members, which was 172. But we can follow up with that information.
172 total Waldeboro residents have memberships.
Have memberships at the Y. Yep, and we have about 3,700 active memberships right now, and that's individuals set of memberships.
I venture to guess that the majority of those are gonna be the older population that go over there to
It's
walk
probably.
around the track.
Mhm. Yes, we have, and we have some pretty healthy exercise programs for our 85+ year olds. Yeah. Yes,
So you have 12 scholarships from all of our residents and that ends up being almost $8,000. Is that sort of like annual membership fee?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is any of that summer camp?
No, this is all membership based.
Anything else?
all right, well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. We have veggie table, are they here tonight, veggie to the table?
You did not invite. You only invited, the other invite was for Waldo.
So if we could take a look quickly at their ask. Last year. $1,200. They are coming in at 1,200 again. Did we make an adjustment last year? Did we take from another? No, we didn't, did we?
No.
Any
I
concerns, concerns from the,
did send out questions that were received with the answers
Mhm.
in an email about veggies to table. You'll recall.
It looked to me like there was an awful lot of overhead in their financial statement. A lot of staff salaries and payments to individuals. I think their budget was $81,000 and the top line in their expenditures was 41,000 for staff salaries. And then if you go down through the spreadsheet, there was the numerous payments to individuals. See if I can find it again.
The salaries, do you want me to read their response about that?
If you would.
Sure. Salaries and other compensation and employee benefits increased from 79,319 to 193,127 in 2024. So we asked them to provide an explanation for the increase and clarify how many individuals receive compensation. And they explained that salaries and compensation and employee benefits increased due to the organization's growth and expanded staffing needs. In 2023, Veggies to Table compensated 6 individuals for their work. In 2024, this increased to 15+. 4 people with 1099s, reflecting expanded farm operations, program delivery, and administrative capacity. Many of these positions were seasonal or part-time, consistent with the nature of farm work. As of now, Veggies to Table has 5 year-round employees, 4 full-time and 1 part-time. And the fundraising expenses that are listed at $76,938 We asked them to specify which vendors or individuals receive payments. And they gave us a summary report. And that,
Well, the list of their expenses was in the attachment, and I'll read from that. Expenses by vendor summary, payroll, $41,000. Then consulting, $4,200. $5,000 to Maine Mountain Media. And then, this is not an employee, but this person got $14,850. A lot of payments to individuals, and the total is 81,000.
But are those payments for food?
That's what I asked. Are they payments for seed, fertilizer? Well, I guess it's organic, so you don't use, well, you might use bone meal or compost or something like that, but no pesticides, so it'd be feed and organic fertilizer, seeds and organic fertilizer. So
I can ask for further clarification as to the payments.
well, it's not the payments to individuals. It's just like an awful lot of overhead. Almost all of their expenses are persons. And that doesn't comport with, the table here doesn't comport with the page that you read from. So they've got salaries of $193,000, but this table that was attached only says 49. So
think
what's
those are-
going on?
I can't speak to that. I don't know that much. Like, I'm not involved with that organization, but I think those are the expenses, and then payroll would be something that's for separate. But we can ask those questions, or
It just does seem to be, I look at the other people who come looking from us, and, payroll is like this and the benefits are like this, and this just seems backwards.
Well, the amount they're asking for is not very big, and I think we have to look at the service they provide for Waldeboro residents.
Well, they said they couldn't identify it.
They can't
in the
determine,
table.
that's
They
what-
can't determine it.
But I don't see that the operational costs are directly related to the benefit that Waldeboro residents receive. And they're trying to pay people to do the work.
Is there any data on, even by weight, what they get out to the community? And what I'm getting at is, okay, there's however many hundred, we'll call it $200,000 of expenses. Is that much value being put back out into the community?
Pam, did you bring out the big book of? I'll go get it. Big book of requests.
Yeah.
That might say it in there.
1,200 is not a lot.
But we do have our food pantry.
I knew you
Do you receive anything from veggies to table?
Yes. Yes, and I offhand can't tell you what that is, but I'm sure I can tell you by tomorrow.
Curious what,
Are they donations, or do you have to pay them for it?
No, it's donations.
okay,
So if those donations were to equate to $1,200, then right there.
I think that my next question is, how often do they do it? Is it pretty frequent during the
Yeah,
summer?
during the summer, it's,
You get 12 weeks worth?
yeah, I would say.
I mean, that's $100 a week.
They do put out, they are very professional organization. I mean, their fundraising is phenomenal. Like, I want to be them when I grow up. But they, I do, and they actually came to the pantry the end of last season, just to kind of like see how our process
Exactly.
works. So I can't tell you offhand that, what comes to us, what the value is, but I know Janet can, because we have to weigh everything that comes in from anybody that donates to us, because we have to report it out. So I can give you that number.
Just trying to find a different way to equate to it, but $1,200.
What you said is what I'm looking for.
Right.
If that
If it's
minimum
$100
exchange
worth
is
a
going
week,
on,
it's
it's good
12
enough for me.
weeks.
Yeah,
Then
then I'm all for it.
That is the big books, yes. There used to be one, yeah. In 2025 alone, they grew 18,054 pounds of organic produce.
To me, that I don't really come away with reservations about $1,200 then.
Precise numbers served are difficult to determine due to the lack of exact records from partners, overlap, and inability to fully capture all recipients when sites are anonymous. There is no way to know if one person or family attends numerous local pantries or sharing tables.
that's 9 tons of material though.
I mean, if they're serving 6 towns and it's distributed equally between 6 towns, that's
Booth Bay Farmer,
$3,000 or 3,000 pounds of food
oh, it's okay, I know, it's mine.
per town lot.
The town of Booth Bay Harbor, and Damascotta each contribute $1,250. And that's all.
But if they're providing food to the Waldorf Food Pantry for 12 weeks over the summer, guys, that's more than $1,200 they're putting back into us. It's gotta be.
Yeah, and that's all the time I'd want to put into, but we could dig more data out of it,
Yeah.
but that baseline info is good enough for me for that.
Yep.
I say that being the guy that talked
Yeah.
too much last year. About it.
And they do fruits, vegetables, herbs.
And flowers. Which is really, I know it sounds goofy, but they bring beautiful bouquets of flowers every once in a while, and
Just nice.
it is,
Yeah.
it may, like, when you're up against it and somebody hands you a bouquet of flowers, it does a lot for your mental health. if
Yeah,
not your
no, mental
physical
health is important. Yeah, let's not undersell the flowers. Let's go, John. We can argue about flowers.
I agree with you.
You can give me flowers anytime, I'm gonna brighten up my day.
I get bored, you be careful.
Any other comments about vegetative? Okay. Good, Val, to move on? We'll move on to Spectrum Generations. Do you have anyone here from Spectrum?
Spectrum was paid out of the Filbert Fund in 2026, we paid $4,935. Why I don't see it, it's been,
We got the request.
yes.
Request this year is 5429.
What Spectrum's gonna do, I'm not surprised. The price has gone up a little bit. A lot of that has to be materials for providing care.
They provided services to 63 Waldeboro residents. 3,233 meals were delivered through their Meals on Wheels program to 26 residents of Waldeboro. Their community service specialists counsel 36 people on topics including elder abuse, prescription drug coverage, and long-term care. 2 Waldeboro residents volunteered 197 hours of their time. And in-home support pro specialist provided 750 hours of support to 1 Waldeboro resident. They are a referring agency so that when we get, community navigation or the town has questions or somebody who comes to us has a problem and they have a resource, they are one of the places that we refer people. Need help.
Where did they go?
In Damascotta. Well, they're in several places, but they're in technically Damascotta
It
and
used to be, I don't know if it's still out. It used to be right where the subway is, right by the Y.
Belfast,
be, I don't know
Brunswick,
if it's still
Camden,
out.
Damascotta, Hallowell, Skowhegan, and Fairfield. But they're right.
Any questions on Spectrum? Or now they call it. Central Maine Area Agency on Housing. Okay, moving on to. New Hope for Women.
One page up on page 41. And that is another one we funded through a different trust fund, the Fennelly Standish Matthews or FSM fund. We funded $2,095.
This year, they're looking for a little bit less.
We gave them more last year than what they requested, I believe.
Do we know how much they're requesting?
Fiscal year 2026, the budget request of $2,095.
No, that's, well, it says the budget request, but didn't someone just say that we gave them more than
I think we did last year.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I didn't think so, but I can check.
No, I don't remember that.
That could be, oh, that's Healthy Kids.
Yeah.
We gave Healthy Kids.
Yeah. Those are the people who do not know, what New Hope Midcoast does. They are trauma-informed advocates who work to respond to domestic abuse, dating violence, and stalking concerns by offering a 24/7 helpline, residential options for victims, legal services, and education and prevention services for all ages. They serve 50 victims from Waldeboro, requiring 203 staff hours.
We're getting them less than minimum wage.
Less than $10 an hour. $10 an hour. Move on to the next one. Next, we have the Healthy Kids.
They requested an amount of $2,500. It's the largest user of Healthy. Waldeboro is the largest user of the Healthy Kids program. 340 students were served at Miller School. 85 students in the high school health classes, 24 parents and children at their on-site play group with weekly parenting meetings. 25 parents and children participated in 4 different field trips. 232 parents received parenting information using the resource center and referral based. And 23 Waldeboro children and parents were recipients of the Healthy Kids Holiday Twin program, and that was coordinated with us and Community Navigator.
So there's a lot of coordination between the Community Navigator and Healthy Kids.
Yeah. And there's Healthy Kids, and then there's Healthy Kids Lincoln. So Healthy Kids Lincoln is what provides the food wagon.
But does this request go to vote?
So in the past, it has, but they are now 2 separate organizations. So if you want to fund some of with the food wagon, Healthy Lincoln and Healthy Kids, you can honor the $2,500 request and then put the other in Healthy Lincoln.
I'm sorry, Healthy Lincoln else is on here.
It's not, they did not request.
So the Lucy the Lunch Wagon is what's run through the
Healthy Lincoln.
Okay.
So how do we do that?
We can do that out of Philbrook.
I understand that, but I mean, if they don't request it,
Yeah,
not on
what's
the back,
process? Yeah,
what's the process?
I understand.
They're not requesting.
They're not,
Why didn't they request it?
that I do know. I
Do we
was
do that through
made
a
aware
different
of that
avenue through the
recently.
select board?
We could do that just through the. select
But maybe they
board.
don't need it.
It might just come as a Philbrook fund request.
I'd like to ask
Maybe
them,
that they would have to, since it's a separate program, they would have had to do a petition because they've never haven't requested funding from us before, and maybe they didn't know and make the deadline.
Yeah.
Could be any number of reasons.
I'll find out, but Just so you know, the Lucy Lunch Wagon is not included in this particular request. So you may want to just fund it. Typically, we overfund it because of that, so you just keep.
Keep it at 2,500.
Would possibly do the Lucy, the.
Even if we have to do it through the select board.
That seems reasonable to me.
Activity social services now on community services, take 4 years.
Just in case you wanted to know. Veggies to Tables gives us about 500 pounds a month of produce and what have you from June through October.
Wow,
Good bargain.
a lot of vegetables.
Especially if it's lettuce or spinach.
Right. Yeah, that's not counting on potatoes. Okay, let's start off with snowplows. We typically fund that through the registrations, correct there? Okay,
Yes, well, there's an offset normally with the registrations for snowmobiles, yes, and ATVs.
you have a lot more registrations than snowmobiles this year? Bet we did.
We did.
We explain how that works in the ballot question. I'm just looking at the votes from last year. I'm surprised the amount of people that said no to that.
They just don't understand, just like this shellfish committee, shellfish budget. It's not funded by taxpayer money, but and people vote no on it regardless. They just don't
Some people
understand.
say no to everything. Okay.
Yeah.
It might need a better explanation.
That's what we wound up doing with the ballot. We finally got somebody to put it on the ballot for us.
Yeah.
So it was non-taxpayer funded.
See the value of the forest clean if they do and all that.
I actually ran out of snowmobile stickers this year, and so did 2 other area towns, because you can go to any town office and register a snowmobile because there's no excise on it. And we were scrambling for stickers and I had to wait because we ran out.
Wow, dust in the machines, they can use it. Any more questions on snowplows? Self-explanatory. Next, we have the Waldo. And Jeff, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Wiseman. I'm the new executive director of the Waldo Theater. Emphasis on new. I'm just 3 weeks in, so my staff is still. Thank you. Thanks. My staff is still pretending that they know who I am. Anyway, it's been nice to get to know a few of you since I've been here at the Lions Club recently, and I look forward to the opportunity to speak in with the rest of you. And I'm on a listening tour right now, mandated for myself to hear what the Waldo means to everyone here and to make sure we are responsive to that. Looks like, according to my colleagues, the town last funded the Waldo in fiscal year 2024. And that support lapsed in 2025 due to an administrative gap on our part. I'm here today asking to restore and modestly increase that investment as we enter a new chapter of stability and growth. This funding goes directly to operations, things like keeping the lights on and the heat running. And a little bit some highlights about what the Waldo does. Looks like most recent year that we reported to you all in our proposal, we brought in over 8,000 visitors to the town for the shows that year. Those people, of course, eat and shop and stay at local businesses as they're in town. And I really look at nonprofits. That word is tough because it has so many negative connotations to it. I really see nonprofits, which I've worked at a lot, big and small, as community investment businesses. And that's what I want the Waldo to be for this community. My colleagues reported that we serve students in 7 area schools through our in-school theater arts education at no cost to the schools. And the lion's share of those students and surveys conveyed that they showed their growth in confidence and communication and connection with others through those programs. The return on investment, again, back to that community investment business model. What we intend to do is be an organization that generates economic activity for Waldoboro every year. And one that keeps a 1936 National Register landmark operational, accessible, and anchored in the community. So the Waldo and myself, we're not just asking to fund the arts, we're asking the town to invest in its own community. An institution that brings people together, keeps the kids connected, and something that I hope we can all be proud of. Any questions? I hope I can answer them. It'll be tough just 3 weeks in, so I may have to get back to you.
I've just got a comment. Quite honestly, I've been around this town a few years and I can remember as a kid, I don't remember the Waldo being as much activity as it does now.
Yeah.
I drive through town to and from work at evening, going through the village. I always know there's something going on because there's cars everywhere. A good thing. And I think of the same thing is people are going to Narrows, they're now they're gonna go to the Davo, they're gonna go to these different stores and they're gonna get gasoline, they're gonna go to Moody's, they're gonna go to these different places before they go to the show or go to the movie or go to the event at the Waldo. So it's good to see that activity in town.
Yes, sir.
As long as we can keep it up.
Thank you.
I know they did a major renovation, get that building needed some serious help in the last few years and looks like it's getting where it needs to be, but that takes time, money, and effort.
Yeah.
And volunteers.
Yeah, remarkable team. And that was one of the things that drew me when I came to interview in mid-December was I thought I could really make something special and grow it with the team that I have there.
One of the things I just want to say is that you've only been here 3 weeks, but every place I've shown up, you've shown up.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, did he air tag me? Like, is that a stalker? But it's been great because I think that shows a really good choice of the Waldo board, but somebody like you. And it was actually nice. Jeff and I spent some time together here at the office yesterday. He actually came to the office and we had a great hour-and-a-half conversation. But very reminiscent kind of what I felt when I came to Waldoboro, and the fact that he wants to get to know people and that he's actually listening to what Waldoboro needs. I thought that was really, really important. The collaboration that he would like to have with the town and the community, I think, is exceptional. And it hasn't been something we experienced over the last couple of years. So I thought it was a breath of fresh air.
Thank
And
you.
I'm really excited to work with you.
And to get to know everyone of all generations
Yeah.
and time here in town. Nothing against newcomers, but some of the people, someone that's been around here a long time, they wanna experience it too, but they don't realize it's available to
Yeah,
We talked about that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know a little bit about myself. So I was born and raised in Amish country, Ohio, in Orville, Ohio, the home of Smucker's Jelly and Coach Bobby Knight. For any college football, or I'm sorry, basketball fans, yeah. I'm not Amish, but I lived and worked alongside them. So in so many ways, this is getting back to my roots, which I'm really excited about.
I noticed on the spreadsheet that we have that, and maybe I'm not reading this correctly, but it says Waldeboro residents average 8% of concert goers, 12% of theater audience, and 13% of film goers. Those percentages seem unusually low to me.
Yeah, it's
And is
extraordinary.
there, I mean, I find that concerning. Is there a plan to work on that to see if maybe the hometown folks
Absolutely.
know would
Yeah,
be able to go more often, or,
yeah, I hope so.
you know, some of the offerings, some of them they're above my pay grade.
them. Yeah.
They are. But I go when I can, and it's a real gem for our community. So we really want to keep it going.
I would
I don't
love
have
to
any answers,
hear.
but I just wonder, is that something that the board might be working on?
Well, it's something I'm working on and prioritizing, absolutely. And I know those numbers too. And they, you know, we had 4 shows in a row this weekend. It was quite a marathon, Thursday through Sunday. We had the Damascata Montessori School Music Program concert and on Thursday, and that was full. And of course, that was families and generations of parents and grandparents there.
And there were Waldeboro children and families there.
Yes, well,
Yes.
that's nice. That used to, years ago, they had the school concerts were all held there.
Yeah,
And the acoustics, I remember,
Too.
in the back row, or way in the back on the balcony, hearing those little kids, hearing their voices and hearing what they were saying was just amazed me.
yeah.
And I have a granddaughter in the Little Actors, whatever program
Oh,
that
good.
they have now. Yeah, this is her 2nd year, and she will grow up to be an actress, I'm sure.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Yes, and
Quite the
that's,
little actor right now.
I have an open door policy at the theater, and if you have any ideas about outreach to the town to get more people aware of the shows, I mean, the other concerts that we did last year were folk, Americana, country adjacent shows. And then we closed on Sunday with, well, I'll tell you the first Friday, it was Eileen Jewell and her band coming in from out of town. And then Pokey Lafarge and his wife, and Pokey is from the region. And then Sunday we had a Celtic band that had just played at Symphony Hall with the Boston Pops. So we hope we're doing a little something for everyone, but I gotta say, this weekend was pretty specific in terms of what I hear that people wanna come and see here in the community. So how do we get the word out to them more? We weren't sold out those 3 nights, but you know, we were approaching sold out for some of the shows. I think probably altogether it was about 1,000 people that came through to the shows of, you know, all 4 of them combined.
One of the nicest, this is really strange, but one of the nicest things I went to recently was the Super Bowl at the
Yeah.
Waldo. Now, I don't even like football.
Lost.
But I went because it was a community event. And it sounded like fun. And the thing I like about Super Bowl parties would be the food. And they had food, and it was so much fun. The game on the big screen, what a difference. I paid attention. My
I didn't know they had it.
did not win, as you probably know. However, the community feeling in there were little kids sitting on the aisle with their parents. There were a bunch of young men who, whenever there was a good play or a bad play, you knew it, you know?
When they
Well, it
scored a
just-
basket,
Hmm?
when they scored a basket.
They did not do baskets. This is the oval. Well, at this game. Anyway, it just, and there were people, a lot of people I didn't know, but I felt a part of them. I went with a group of friends. And it was the nicest feeling. I even wrote a letter to the editor, to the Lincoln County News, saying how much I enjoyed it and what a nice community event it was.
Thank you so much for that.
It was just really nice.
They did something like that with White Christmas. This was not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And there were two little girls who sat behind me that had a costume contest.
Yeah.
And they stood up and twirled the whole time.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm not a fan of White Christmas, but I loved that experience. It was great. Don't give me that look. It's not like a football.
Oh, in Alabama's one.
That's strange.
I'm all over it.
Yeah, then you're all over it.
That and then the talent show sold
Oh, the
out.
talent show is the best.
Talent
Yeah,
show.
I got,
that
I
is the
got
best.
plans for that to
And so
elevate
I
it.
think there's a way to utilize those activities
Yes.
that are specific to Waldeboro, bringing out people here to get that word out more.
Yes, thank you.
So
We
you're.
do have the Final Four coming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and someone, another brilliant colleague of mine on the board mentioned that we should do opening day baseball.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's Bill Maxwell's idea.
Oh, okay.
Mr.
That was a pass on, yeah.
what it
The
did was
countdown, yeah.
it gave me a really good feeling about the Waldo. I already have a great feeling about Waldeboro, but it just gave me a really good feeling to be sitting with all these people and enjoying the time there and the food and everything. I even stayed to the very end of the game,
Oh, that is great.
to the very, and a lot of people did not because they knew we would not win, and so they're out of there. But not me, I stayed for everything. I really liked it.
Because the food was still there.
I did not, no, I ate so much you couldn't, the food was just amazing, but it
Thank you
was
for that
delightful.
feedback.
And I wanted to thank, I didn't know who, I asked someone who I should thank for that and they didn't know. They said, write a letter. So I did.
John?
I just wanted to say that one of the reasons that my wife and I moved to Waldeboro was the Waldo Theater.
Wow.
It's a gem. And we're very, very fortunate to have it here. And so thanks for caring.
Thank you. Thank you. I keep coming back to this idea of the Waldo as a harbor in a place where art and artists come in and exchange their art with the community, and the community comes in as well, all like ships, and then they launch back out. Maybe a little bit changed, maybe a little bit more bonded to each other in some way after an experience together there.
Mhm.
You should record that for the radio.
At minimum, they're ready to eat and drink.
Yes.
Around town.
Yes, yes. But yes, please do come see me, get in touch with me. My email is jeff@thewaldotheater.org. I would love to have a coffee with you or a beer at the Narrows and hear what you think about what we should do going forward.
Yeah, just a comment. The renovations of the Waldo took a lot of work and a lot of time and the people who did that and carried that through were very committed to the theater in general, but they were good at making it happen to bring the building back. And then the transition from that to managing a running theater probably wasn't very simple. People who are good at renovating a theater or making that happen in the community might not be the best people at running and managing an operating theater. And I think that's part of why they had hiccups with like requesting funding and just managing the operation. And I see your hiring as another step into developing more professional management of the theater, and hopefully that will make more good things happen as time goes on. One thing that in the past, when my kids were small, my older daughter especially was in a lot of plays at the theater, both in the youth theater and then later with just general community productions. And there doesn't seem to be that much community theater going on right now and youth theater, but that requires, back then, there was one person that was the catalyst for all that. They was totally committed to it and spent so much time and effort making that happen. And I would love to see that come back to town, because one of the productions was The Wizard of Oz, and they had, it was like 120 kids involved in that.
Fantastic.
And other productions, what's the I can't think of the specific ones, but my daughter was in a dozen anyways. And I'm glad to see their kids programs coming. And now two of my grandkids are in the acting program. And I think it's really, really a great resource for the town.
Thank you. I well noted about wanting the theater program to come back stronger. Me too. We do have 3 productions this year, so getting a little bit more ambitious schedule with it.
And also with your headliner events, you're getting some amazing groups and names coming to Waldeboro.
I'll tell you, that Solace show on Sunday night was an experience I'll never forget. One of our longtime volunteers who runs the theater program, George Bates, he's seen everything come through, and he said it was one of the top 5 shows he's ever seen there. So yeah, please come check us out.
While we're handing out kudos, I'd like to mention the man sitting next to me here, and his partner, for generously contributing both time and money to the Waldo. It's in the book if you want to download it. It's very, very generous. Thank you.
Any questions for Jeff? Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have the Waldeboro Historical Society. And last year, if I recall, we actually they initially requested 6,000, but we ended up dropping it to 5,500.
Yeah, Bill came in about a year back.
Yeah. Request, yeah. This year, what they're looking for is get back to their 6,000. Comments on the Historical Society. Bill's in Florida enjoying some well-deserved rest.
I saw that. I was.
Looking well yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, right. No one have any comments, questions?
I love going in that place. It's a nice little museum.
A lot of history in there.
Yeah, I was amazed. The amount they've got jammed into that little space though is impressive. You wouldn't think there's as much as there is.
There's a lot of stuff.
Next on the agenda is, sorry, covered the snow crawlers, Waldeboro Public Library. Kat's not here tonight.
No,
She,
the committee decided not to Later,
I will say the
he was willing.
library actually never increases.
Well,
I
it's
shouldn't say
been
never, but it's been a long time.
since 2012, I think.
Yeah.
But they don't increase even though their funding has been cut. Pretty dramatic. I mean, and she even said that when she spoke last year,
Well,
about how
the-
much funding was cut.
they're doing more fundraising and they do have endowments that they've been trying to manage well.
But they haven't
What?
cut their offerings. They haven't cut any of their services, their programs, anything. which
No,
is- I
I-
mean, that's a testament to the volunteers and to the staff.
They work hard over there.
So please pass that on to, you know, if
I
you
will do
happen
that.
to, if you happen to know.
I see her
Okay,
sometime.
see her sometime.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
It doesn't get any cheaper to run that building.
No, they just put a new roof on last year. That was kind of an emergency job.
Seems like it, but,
Seems like it.
but it wasn't. It's the best bargain in town.
Yeah.
Yep, educational bargain, everything.
It's a great space. They've got public Wi-Fi outside if you need it, and there's. They go above and beyond.
They have wonderful children's programs.
They do.
They're just nice people in there. If you want to go someplace and be around nice people, go into the library.
Well, I'm going to say hi sometime.
Yeah, they're just nice people.
Well, they bend over backwards. If you're looking for a book, they do everything they can to bring it in from another library and.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they have limited resources because of the funding cut for the interlibrary loan situation and other services.
If you have a favorite book they don't have, get them a copy.
Any more comments, questions? Library, we're good. Go on to the Waldeboro Day Committee. Request, the ask is $4,500 this year. Typically, the way I understand is we've always asked for the money to cover the fireworks. Town funds the fireworks for the Waldeboro Day. And the price of fireworks, the base package has gone up. And I'll speak on behalf of what I see on the Waldeboro Day. In the last 3 years, the Waldeboro Day Committee has definitely stepped up. Under great leadership and volunteers in that committee. I think 4 or 5, right around COVID, it kind of dwindled to nothing. 2 or 3 people tried to get Marcus, God bless him. He did all he could do to keep it going. And next thing you know, we rejuvenated the Waldeboro Day 3 years ago, probably. And it's,
I think the 250th celebration reminded people what it could be.
yeah, it's bigger and bigger every year. And Erica's still
Erica's the
the lead there, and
St. Peter.
things seem to be happening. I saw the theme this year, superheroes of Waldeboro. I like that.
We're trying to get the firefighters and the police and the EMTs the recognition they deserve.
That ought to be a good
That'd be
parade
fun.
with that.
Fun to dress up.
Yeah.
Because they don't all have to wear tights and capes.
Maybe at Waldeboro got talent. They could do.
It's always on my birthday weekend too.
Oh, no, Father's
So
Day.
I take personally.
But the fireworks are just for you, Dan.
And I thought it was the parade, but.
And that's it for community services. Back in at 7:30. That's too much time? 10 minutes? Hi, Scott.
Oh, I didn't even see Scott up there.
I mean, you didn't have to say it, but I appreciate
No, well,
you.
it was
Sound.
All right, we'll call the meeting back to order. Next on the agenda is we're going to discuss the TIF.
Are we not gonna vote on all those
Yeah, we're voting.
funds? Yes or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
Nope. When are you gonna do it? Next meeting? Cause this has to be a lot of discussion on that, right? This is it, right? We can vote on it.
Most everything there,
Okay.
I don't see, yeah, I don't see an issue of not voting on it.
Huh?
I don't see an issue on not voting on it.
Are we voting, you just want a lot more meeting?
Get to the point.
I know. Thank you.
Individually.
Yeah.
There are a couple organizations that were gonna get back to us with more information, but I don't know that that information would change their votes at all. So
Right. I agree.
Always back. A
healthy thing.
wait, what?
41?
Talking about.
Motion to select board for 2,500 for the healthy kids.
So moved. And I'd like to make it come out of the,
FSM fund?
yes, FSM fund, trust fund.
Second. Second, how are we doing with that fund?
We are doing very well, actually, in the last week. The FSM funds, where our limit for this particular year was $9,290 to spend, and we've spent $7,000. I don't know if there's anything else coming out. I don't expect. We don't anticipate anything more coming out. And if you vote tonight to do 2,500, that's half of what you did the year before, so that'll even be nicer under the limit. Thank you.
So this was the one where you're going to find out if there would need to be an additional 2,500 separate given to the lunch program,
Yeah.
thank you, yes, that's why I think. Would that funds also then come out of FSM? Is that, would you be able to?
That's a
We can do that as a
select board to another.
Okay. I just said that because Peg just said, and you're only taking 2,500 out now, which is less than, but it might not be less. Well,
From this fund.
from this,
So
after July 1st, that clock would start again. Okay,
But we also could take it out of Philbrook as well.
You could-
It's not just designated.
okay, I just was question on process, so thanks.
Depends on which one has more money.
Yeah, sure, get it.
So the select board is moving second to take 20, to fund 2,500 and take it from the
FSM.
FSM.
I have a question just as far as forecasting how investments are gonna do going forward here in next year. I personally don't see this coming year as being anything like the past 2 years. And investments in various funds have done very well the last couple of years. And I'm concerned that kind of assuming things are gonna continue in the way they are, may be problematic.
So we have a professionally managed fund. They come in every year and they speak to the select board at length about what those investments are and how they're managed. We have a policy that we implemented last year for how we expend these funds. They had an initial endowment, basically, we can only spend the interest. They're well-funded and if you looked at the information that was handed out, you can see the history of it and you can see our policy. So I think we're sticking to our policy.
We use a 3-year average, you
Yeah.
average a 3-year
Right.
to come up with the cap, so. You have 2 other years, so if you think you're gonna have an uncertain year, you have 2 other years of stability to factor in.
And I appreciate that thought. We also, on the other side of the coin is you have residents and taxpayers that are feeling the same pinch, so we're gonna take it from them. Or we're gonna take it from a fund that we have the money.
Yeah. When was the last professional management fund manager's presentation?
Come every year within a month or 2 at the end of the.
That was last fall.
And it's like, well,
Yeah, it was
Summer or fall.
summer, probably. I think it was summer.
I just think things are looking different now than last fall.
Well, I just don't think that because we have a bad feeling right now. I think Peg's right. We have a 3-year window to look back on. And just because certain things are bad, it depends what fund you're invested in. If you're heavy on bonds are up now. So if you're actually looking at it like how it's managed for slow growth. These aren't, it's not like we're invested. Right, it's not like we're in Nvidia. We're not in Nvidia. We're not in some of these other investments. We're into actual long-term funds. So I think it's much more stable. Unfortunately, a 4% earning might look better than the 11 or 12% that we've had, or the 22%. But I think those are well-funded funds, and I don't think that we're risking anything by doing that. They are very well funded.
The
You
average,
get the policy.
the average 3-year balance in the Fennelly, the FSM fund stands for Fennelly, Matthews and Standish, was $185,807. So we're basically talking about $9,000 would be the maximum spent out of that for the whole year, for the whole 12-month period, just to give a little perspective.
And it is a fund that, correct me if I'm wrong, that we really haven't been tapped into. Up until-
Not at all.
up Until last year.
And then the Philbrook funds average 3-year average is 821,000. And so again, we're talking about 41,000 for the whole year, which we've only spent 16.
That's
And
what I said.
these are not big numbers to come out of the fund
No.
either, but I
No.
just overall with the budget and this also extends the projections on revenue for the town.
Well, you gotta look at it like this. Here's my crystal ball.
I see nothing in there.
Here's my crystal ball, and my crystal ball is saying that when you have uncertain economy, that you can pretty much count on your interest rates for savings being higher. Now, not saying I'm a financial expert or anything, but then your interest rates for borrowing are higher. So there's something to be said about that. We do the best we can with my crystal ball.
It is a valid point. And all crystal ball joking aside, as far as the investment thing, that's not my concern, but it's as far as revenue projections moving forward, it is a valid point that I don't want diminished, please. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Select board, all in favor? 5 opposed, 0.
Okay, this is for Healthy Kids, $2,500. Do you have a motion? You?
Second.
Second, thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Thank you, Scott. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think I counted Scott. Nine. Okay. 9-0.
That's everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
New Hope for New Hope Midcoast,
We hope Mid-Coast.
$2,095 from the FSM Trust Fund.
You making that motion?
So moved.
So you said 2090,
And
you said 2095, which is
Right.
what we did last year, but this year's
Right.
request is 2080. You're welcome to do the 2095. I'm just making.
that's what
sure
I
that-
wrote down, because that's
Okay.
what they requested last year.
Okay,
I didn't know what if that was their request or. It's only $15.
That was their
Yes.
request.
It's only $15. I'm
Yeah.
not worried about $15.
I'll make a motion. He made a motion, I'll second a motion.
So
Used.
Sorry.
Motion made for $2,095.
He gave him a bonus.
Because,
So not 2080, 2095. Thank you.
2,095. Any more discussion on that? Come out of the FSM trust fund.
No, no discussion, but I'm very sad. We had 50 residents of Waldeboro that used the service extensively last year.
They are the middle of the night call.
And we did the math on what they're getting paid per hour.
Yeah, yeah,
I need to volunteer with their prices on the middle of the nightfall is
yeah.
hard short.
That's who our police department calls when they have a family in distress.
Yeah.
And that's,
We had an issue about a year ago where we called them and they couldn't find anybody to take care of the individual, and
it's much.
Julie looked into it, and I was pissed because we're spending this money and they're not helping anybody, and she come to find out it was like 165 people or 160 people that previous year, so I kept my mouth shut.
Any other discussion? All in favor? 5-0.
Okay, $2,095 for New Hope Mid-Coast. Motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ben. Any discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-0.
Generation.
Make a motion for 54 from the Philbrook Foundation.
Second. 5429 coming out of the Philbrook fund. Discussion on that. All in favor? Absent 5. Yep. 5-0.
Okay, $5,429 for Spectrum Generations.
I'll motion.
Thanks, John.
Second.
Thanks, Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Next, we have the Waldeboro Food Pantry, got a request of $20,000.
You skipping veggies table?
No, it's next.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I'm I'm on
First
the
one is-
different. Never mind.
You have a motion there? Adam?
I would like, hopefully this isn't complicated for you guys.
I'll speak slowly.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Slow, I am getting slower. All right, take 10,000 for out of the Philbrook Foundation. Of that 20,000. And add 2,000 to it, to the initial request of 12. To make it 12,000. Their revenues, their expenditures have gone up 10%, so I think it may go up 10%.
And take that full 2,000 out of the
Philbrook fund or make that request
Funded
from?
Make that part of, it. Instead of 10,000, make it 12, but 10,000 come out of the Philbrook Foundation.
So you're suggesting a $22,000 allocation, 12 of which would come from Philbrook, 10 of which.
Right, correct, right.
So
See, I
12,
told you I was gonna make it, try not to make. it
12
confusing.
from Philbrook, 10
No,
on the
no,
warrant.
no.
10
Out of the
on,
way.
10 from Philbrook, 12 on the warrant.
Yes.
Oh, everyone understand that?
Wait a minute,
No.
Yeah.
because I understood it opposite.
Mike?
too. Me
So I understood it that you want $12,000 to come out of Philbrook,
No.
10,000,
10,000 and 12,000 out of the red.
yes, correct.
So I had that backwards.
12,000 on the warrant.
It'll be 12,000 for the town.
And the reason why I say that is because like John said, they've done a lot of what he requested them to do is to fundraise. They've done it. And I think we should reward them. They're doing a great job. Oh, I know, you lit into them. You lit into them and said, you're gonna do more fundraising, and they actually done it.
I think that was budget committee members more so than John.
Well, John.
I was on the budget committee.
He was on the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I very well remember that.
Yeah.
I think they should be.
And I was asked after the fact, outside this building, why I was against food bank.
Right.
And I think they should be rewarded for it. They've actually done what we requested.
They do a great job.
So, anyone second from the select board?
I'll second that.
So it's moved and seconded. That. Their ask is $22,000.
Their guess was fun.
An ad, it's now $22,000, add 2,000, I mean, $22,000, 10 of which comes from the Philbrook fund. And 12,000 will come from the tax. Reviews, all in favor?
I want people to be
5-0.
confused.
So is that a vote? You're.
Yeah, 5-0.
Confused?
No.
Is the budget computer?
5-0.
Okay, so we've got a total of 22,000. Waldeboro Food Pantry, 10,000 of which is to come from the Philbrook Fund. Do we have a motion? Budget committee.
Second.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
I have a question. Will we, like we did last year on the warrant, we stipulated that $10,000, will we do that again this year? Because I think that's really helpful for folks to know. Otherwise, they don't think, why are you only giving them 12 when they, whatever, they.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I'll
For all of these, not just this one, but for all of the ones,
yes.
just like last year.
Well, how does that work when there's no amount
Not
from
on
the
the warrant.
budget? So it wouldn't even appear on the warrant?
No, we still explain every question.
Okay,
There's an explanation with every one of them.
even though there's no question. Like for Spectrum. That's
I
not-
think we explained what they did, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, last year I think was the first year we've done that.
Because you
right?
guys asked for it.
Right, and
Yeah, I think.
well, actually, I think it was Pam's suggestion, that she put that on to the warrant so that the taxpayers understood exactly how much. And how we got there. I
Well,
think it
last year
a
was the
great
first year
idea.
they were, no, second year they were separated. Right?
That is correct. And 2 years ago, we did list like reductions, I believe, when you guys
Right.
made a reduction, but last year we added little cliff notes,
Narrative
if you will.
Yeah, we did.
Which I thought was really great.
And we,
Extra work for you, but thank you.
you did get your, what the warrant was and the votes. But everybody felt.
You vote?
Any more, no, any more discussion? All those in favor? No,
That's correct.
thank you.
Peg made a point that keep in mind the ones that aren't gonna be on the warrant at all, weren't on the warrant at all.
Yes, they were. I believe they were. The budget committee and select board vote was on the warrant.
But not the funds that you funded from a different account from. Aren't listed,
No,
is what we were saying.
correct. If it's fully funded, it's not on there.
Right.
But like the Waldo and the YMCA, they'll be on there with you can't not. It's on there anyway, but we do put your vote.
Right, the
on
votes,
there.
the votes on.
Right,
Yeah.
the vote.
I have the warrant up. I could read the footnote we had on for the food pantry at least. It was Article 21. Shall the town raise and appropriate the sum of 10,000 for the Waldeboro Food Pantry? Select Board recommends vote in favor 4, 1 opposed, 0 absent, 0 abstain. Budget Committee recommends 7 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 absent, 0 abstain. In order to offset the tax burden, the town is utilizing 10,000 from the Philbrook Trust Fund to fully fund the $20,000 request from the Waldeboro Food Pantry. Engagement, hear it.
So how about items that don't appear on the warrant because they're completely funded from?
So I think we discussed last year of putting something in the voter guide. If you wanted me to do that, I can. But if there's not a question for anybody to answer, it's not on there at all.
Okay,
So like New Hope, Midcoast, Healthy Kids, Spectrum, they won't be listed at all.
Yeah, we need to be on the warrant, we're not asking.
They're not
Right.
We're not,
No
we're not
ask.
asking for any money from the taxpayers.
right. I'm just concerned that some people might wonder why aren't we helping them out when we are?
She says she puts it in the voter guide.
Voter guide.
Yeah,
I can put it in the voter guide. And I'm open to suggestions of how to get that out into the public, because we do put a lot of work into that. Short of mailing it house to house, which
It's not in your budget.
it's not in the postage budget.
It's not the postage budget.
How much do those planes cost to drag the banners behind them?
I'll be cheap, yeah.
No, well, maybe not now with aviation.
I did take a bite.
Oh.
of it.
Did you vote on that?
No, there was still, there's continued discussion.
continued discussion, but the computer display, Julie,
Yes,
the feed on there fritzed out for a minute and it changed microphones or something. It notified that
It
changing
disappeared,
microphones.
apparently.
So I don't know if is it still working?
as far as I can tell it is, but I would defer to Ruben on that.
I was hoping you'd say tech expert so I can blame John.
I would defer to Ruben, the tech expert on it.
I saw him walk away,
Yeah, he
but he walked away right after the.
If it's on
Audio.
Kodak, it's working.
Yeah, that's all where it should be.
Okay, it did something over there, fritzed out.
HDMI cable popped up.
It went blank for a moment and then it said, because Adam pointed to, you didn't imagine it, we all saw it.
I know something happened.
Yep, no, it remembered to go back to the right audio thing, but worth checking for sure.
Okay. All right, I don't even remember which one we're voting on.
You already voted.
Yeah, you
You
did.
did vote.
You're
Okay.
good.
Now we're on the table.
Make a motion for $1,200. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for $1,200, pay the tables from the select board. All in favor? 5-0.
We have 1,200 for veggies to table. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Any discussions? It's a lot of carrots for $1,200. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you.
Next we have CLC, YMCA. They do have a petition, but we're still gonna present our vote. They are requesting $7,500.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded, $7,500. Any more discussion? All in favor? 3, opposed? 2.
Okay, we get $7,500 for CLC YMCA. Do we have a motion from the budget committee?
So moved.
Second anywhere?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? 2. 7, 2, 0.
So for that total, with the changes that we made. Is that okay? Can I jump in?
Yep.
So,
That's just the,
so for general fund purposes, the social service agency, that account 610. I see food pantry, 12,000, veggies to table, 1,200, and the CLCY for 7,500, which totals 20,700.
Thank you.
About 6,000.
It was at, it dropped at 18,009. It was at 38,709.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
I was going down.
Can you tell us, Peg, what that brings us to total?
Okay.
Please. So far.
So right now, we're at a 4.75% change over last year.
And last week, I think we were at 5.3, so we've come down below 5.
We also had the solar, the revenue change.
Yeah.
jumping into page 48.
Motion for Waldeboro Day, 3,500.
Second.
We made the second for Waldeboro Day, $4,500. Any discussion from the select board? All in favor? 5-0.
4,500 for Waldeboro Day. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, thank you. Discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Snow Crawl, I'm sorry, Waldeboro Public Library.
We'll put the 75,000.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Great, opposed? I don't, Becky, you have your hand up? Oh, okay. Mike, you have your hand up?
Yes.
Okay, 5-0.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right, you have 75,000 for the Waldeboro Public Library.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to abstain for this because my wife is the director. Any discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I am abstaining.
Next, we have the Waldeboro. Now the snow crawlers.
Right.
Take a motion for $1,000.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? 5-0.
$1,000 for the Waldeboro Snow Crawlers. Thank you. Second, thanks. Any discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Waldo Theater. Addition, $10,000 request. Motion 10,000, one second.
Sure, second.
Second, discussion. I'm gonna, as much as I support the wall of air, I'm gonna be voting against this. I think it should be back to 8,000. All in favor? Opposed?
Did you wanna try an amendment?
Can't.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Okay. All right, 10,000 for the Waldo Budget Committee,
I'll make that.
okay,
I'll second.
you, discussion? All those in favor?
I'll abstain.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those opposed? 1. And 1 abstention. 7, 1, 1.
And the Waldo Historical Society.
Make a motion, 6,000.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for 6,000 for Waldo Historical Society from the select board. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
I'm a select board, sorry.
Opposed?
I'm ready to get out of here.
Abstain, I'm ready to abstain.
You're gonna abstain? So 401.
Okay, we have 6,000 for the Waldboro Historical Society. We have a motion.
So moved.
Who wants the motion and who wants the second? Yeah,
I'll second.
okay, thanks. Any discussion? All those in favor? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
To confirm, that total didn't change because we didn't change anything.
Right.
So it's 96,500 for community services. Municipal buildings.
Municipal buildings.
And when we did those, the Medallic River Community Park, planning and development, debt service, and then revisit the revenue. Revote.
So I would like to see us do have a quick information for the schedule, then we come back next week to read the rest.
Okay, you want me to just give a brief overview? So in front of you, you have information on our TIP. A TIP is a public finance tool used by municipalities to leverage new property taxes generated by a specific project or projects within a defined geographic district. You'll see there's a list of what properties are included in our TIP. The program is locally driven. Back in, I think it was 2019, the TIP was voted in by town meeting. And it helps finance other projects in town. It can't finance salaries and wages or operating expenses. It's a way for local governments to fund development for projects in a specific area using the future increase in property taxes generated by that development. A couple of good reasons, to be honest with you, that I think everybody agreed that it was a good idea to do. And honestly, Max, our former planner, was the one who forced us into it, I think. He's the one who showed us the way. At the beginning of when the TIP was set up, the valuation for all property and lands within the district is recorded by the tax assessor. That number becomes the base amount property taxes, and that's the OAV, the original assessed value. From that point forward, if a property within the TIF district increases in value, the dollar difference between the base and the new value is the increment, and that is what then gets put into, 2% of that gets put into a special fund. That then, and you'll see, we included the policy in the handout too, didn't we? That shows you how we can expend those funds and who has control over those funds. And these funds can be used for specific road and utility work, bonds issued by the town as part of a large infrastructure. The staff expenses overseeing TIF projects, economic development activities. We do not have credit enhancement. We did not go with that. So there's no money going to developers. It all stays within the town for town projects. TIF funds cannot be used for schools, libraries, or general town government expenses. Couple of the benefits of a TIF. The new value in a TIF district is sheltered from municipality state valuation, and that directly affects important areas of municipal finance. So how much of a state education subsidy the municipality receives, it affects how much a municipality pays in county taxes, and how much of a portion of municipality receives as a subsidy from state revenue sharing. So those things benefit us because we get more and we pay less. So those are good things. So with a designated TIF district, the town can quote shelter the increase in municipal valuation that development in the district will bring about. This tax shift benefit mitigates the adverse effect of the district's increased tax assessed value, the increased assessed property value. So those are the good things that happen. And just to give you a little idea of what the TIF has helped pay for, would be the acquisition of the Worcester parking lot down behind the community pharmacy, broadband that was brought to town. Those are just two of the things that we've used funding for. Hopefully a lot more in the future. So it has worked. I mean, Max worked hard to get it through and explain it all, and I think Peg has the balance.
So we've captured about 402,000 of TIF funds, and we've paid 399,000. That didn't come out of the capital fund or didn't come out of the general fund. It was TIF money that financed, like Julie had said, the purchase of the parking lot, broadband. We did a few studies for broadband, for water. We also did some those are smaller projects, the quarry trail enhancement that we did. And the culvert as part of that grant, the DEP grant on Elm Street. A lot of that was paid for from TIF funds. And so now we have like $2,000 left.
We'll get more.
The reason why I brought this up is because I've always found it a little disconcerting, and I also raised the issue of the fund balance in the water department enterprise fund. Always a little, it's a pool of money that I guess the select board can vote on TIF funds, but the budget department really doesn't get it. And then there's two subsidiary effects, one of which you might regard as a good thing, maybe it is or it isn't. But it's going to take some properties. It'll put some pressure on some properties where poor people live and change that housing into improved housing, which is a good thing, but it shuffles off the poor into another cubbyhole, maybe even out of town. And the other is, it's hard for me to understand how TIF differentiates normal, either increase in property values because of the sheer demand that we've seen lately, and whether it was actually a result of the TIF program itself. So I have some reservations about it, but unquestionably, it's been good for me because I got broadband out of it, and I had terrible broadband before.
So I don't understand your first concern. how we're pushing people out.
Well,
to-
well. If you can take a dilapidated trailer and put a double wide on it, that's an increased property value. And it gives more money to the town because a double wide is more important, is taxed at a higher rate than a dilapidated trailer. So it does, it
But it would have to
provides
be one of-
financial pressure. And if
Right.
this isn't, I don't think
Okay.
this is intentional at all, but it could have that
But it
effect.
would have to be
In the designated
in one
area.
of the designated areas.
It's not across-
District.
it's not across the town.
I know it's not across the
Okay.
town, but you know, I was looking at some of the addresses and, you know, I could see, I could see a few homes there that are homes I've worked on.
But they would have to be willing to make the
Hmm?
improvement to their property.
Right, they don't have to, no one's forcing them
Correct.
to improve their property.
True.
Right, so it. I don't get how we push them out there.
Well, then, I'm not saying they're being pushed out, but there is creating a financial incentive on the part of the town to increase its tax revenue. It's a good thing if they move from the town's budgetary perspective. That's there. Now, whether the town acts on it or not, that's another story entirely. I don't think that's happened at all. But the incentive is still there. Because it is what it is, you know, I don't think that was the intent at all, but it does sort of have that,
So they would have to want to sell their property.
yes.
But what you're saying is that the town would have a motivation to push them to sell.
No, I didn't say that at all. I said that there is a background there is a financial benefit to the town if better properties get put on some of the poorer properties. It's just, it's obvious. I mean,
That's not special to TIF though.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think we would all like better housing in the town. So it's a good thing, but it does put some pressure. And again, it's not intentional. It does put some pressure.
We're not saying that.
Well, we can agree to disagree, but that's what I see.
So I'm not clear with the examples given of the town acquiring a parking lot downtown and trail development at the quarry. I don't remember the other projects, but
Elm Street.
Elm Street. Does that affect individual property values around those
No,
things?
it does, the improvement doesn't have to be located within the TIF district.
Okay. So, I guess.
It's like broadband was throughout the entire community.
Right, right. So does anything about the TIF program affect individual taxes on, say, a
No,
lot with a-
you're not paying more,
No.
you're not paying less. It's just,
Okay,
The only time the tax goes up in the town acquires TIF money is if the value of the property goes up because of an improvement that the town has made.
for the person.
For the person who owns it.
The person who owns the property is me.
True. Either way.
Not either way. The town is not providing the funds for the improvement of the value of the real estate.
right.
It's only the homeowner, so it's
Has nothing to do, yeah,
it's-
right, so like,
it's coming out of the property owner's
it
pocket
is.
and it's benefiting the town. It actually is benefiting the entire town. That's the whole idea behind it.
We're not giving any money or improving the properties that the homeowners do.
Understood.
Or in this case, it's the property, it could be a commercial
Could
property.
be a commercial property
Right.
or a,
It's just not It's not exclusive to residential property.
Correct,
Nor is the town requiring that the property be improved.
correct.
It's done right, there's secondary benefits. I'll take broadband, it's the thing I'm obsessed about. If 600 homes in Waldeboro are saving $40 a month by either their existing provider competing or switching to the new provider we brought in, that 300K we spent, 12.5 months payback time. And we're probably well above that. And that's direct to residents. And I'm sure that's not going to be the only TIF funded thing that results in something like that.
And a lot, and so some of these projects that Peg brought up were grant funding that we had received and
Match.
supplemented. It was the match. It's where we took the match from for the grant.
I'm just trying to see like what Mike is saying. If a developer buys a piece of property in one of these zones and improves it and increases the value markedly, when the lots around it are revalued, which is done periodically, they become more valuable because they have to relate to the most recent sales of similar properties.
But that would happen anywhere in town.
Got nothing to do with the TIF. Absolutely nothing. I could build a factory on any road on Route 1 and that property may go up next door. It's got nothing to do with the TIF. It's got absolutely nothing.
The difference is though, if it's outside the TIF zone, that money goes into the general fund. All of the tax money from the improved property valuation goes into the general fund. But if it's in the TIF zone, if the property value goes up, that goes into the TIF.
2% of it.
2%.
2%. Yeah.
And isn't that also a function of focusing where you want certain improved development?
Where you think it's going to happen. And we can change that, like we had a revision in 2024 to that. To
Some
capture
examples
some of
from the original TIF district, were the Waldeboro Business Park, an undeveloped lot along Route 1, the former Sylvania plant. This is the map this is on the town's
former
website.
manufacturing plant that's on French's.
Oh, sorry. And this map was used based on land use. Let's see, just trying to see if there's anything else that might make it a little more easier to understand. That's basically it. Just undeveloped areas where we're trying to encourage economic development.
So I'm not clear if the TIF program provides an incentive for, say, a developer to develop a piece of property.
They won't notice the difference unless the only way a developer gets anything is if you are in credit enhanced, if you have a component of your TIF, which is credit enhancement. That's when a developer could come in and the town could supplement some of the developer, but we did not do that.
Okay.
That's not part of our TIF.
Okay.
We
So-
did not do a CEA, I think it's called, credit enhancement.
So effectively, the TIF program doesn't affect either property values and doesn't provide any incentives for development in a certain area. It's just a way to skim off 2%
Yeah,
of certain designated zones and put them in this separate fund.
correct.
That can be used to provide broadband to.
Right, but we could do that out of the general fund also, if that was a priority of the town.
Harder sell than 300,000, was it 300 and?
306.
306 from us, 100K from the county.
On your taxes that you would have had to pay for. Versus
So it
coming
would
out
have
of
been, that revenue would have come into the general fund.
The 2% you're saying would have been
Yeah.
in the general.
So that would be basically a wash.
You just take that one pocket.
Yeah, it is redirecting 2%, but you have to look at the projects that were done and the fact that they were of in my opinion, greatly enhancing every resident of Waldeboro's, being.
I think Ruben's right too. It's a harder sell if you take it out of the taxpayer versus out of this tip.
Yeah.
It's a hard
Isn't
sell.
it more that you've sheltered some of the value of your property for the state?
So you're
Yeah.
protecting, those are two things that people are maybe are
Okay,
minor,
yeah.
but
Right.
you're also not increasing your valuation so that you're saving some money on your county taxes, as the
Okay.
town as a
Right.
whole. But you're also getting
That's
your
the
school
benefit.
funding too, because you're keeping your valuation down, because when your valuation goes up, you get less school funding.
To Mike's point, I am not a big fan of enterprise funds and these type of funds, but with proper oversight, and in this case, the TIF seems to have proper oversight written into the how it operates and the approvals and so forth, so that in this specific case, I don't have any concerns about it. But in general, your point being that these things can be viewed as scams.
As what?
It's just difficult
that
they're difficult to understand.
I have to just say this because we are out there in the public. We are audited. All of these, the TIF, everything that we do here is audited,
Including the enterprise funds.
including the enterprise funds, the water department, the TIF, the rec, enterprise fund, all of this is audited. I don't want anybody leaving here tonight with the idea that they're not overseen, they're not looked at, and they're not audited. We go through, and the town pays money to have the work audited. So I just want everybody to be real clear about that. You can be uncomfortable, people can be uncomfortable or may not like the way it's done, but we're doing it per the rules and we are audited on it. So I just want that to be very clear and transparent.
I absolutely agree, and this is exactly what I had hoped, because a week ago, I had no idea what TIF was. I know we had spent money using TIF. I had voted to use TIF money, but I never had a clue as to how it was collected. And this has been exactly what I had hoped, that we would all be knowledgeable of what it is.
And I would just say that if anybody never understands something like that, please come and talk to Daryl, Peg, me, Matt, well, it would have been Max, it would now be Pete, but please come and chat with us about it.
Max would have public hearings and he'd be all by himself in the room. And nobody would come. And it would be in the paper and it would be broadcast and we'd try to get the information out about whatever it was. When it started, if there was a change or an update, the map, the district, and nobody. I stopped it.
You would think that any times, you would think that any times tax is mentioned, there'd be people here with pitchforks.
Well, on top of that, we handed out last year's warrant results. And so I was just, as I was making the copies and handed them out to you, we like to look at them to see what a percentage of who likes what, or who maybe doesn't understand something. And so that's what I had gleaned out of today, even though I've looked at this many times, that the TIF you could tell by the numbers that the yays, the nays, the blanks, that nobody understands land use in Waldeboro or the TIF funds. Just say, that was what I took out of it, out of looking at it.
But that wasn't because of a lack of effort on Max's part or your
No.
part.
No,
Right.
no, it's us, I think it's time, like,
Agreed.
it's time, people don't.
What our public is.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you don't understand TIF and you haven't hung out with Kate yet, those are two great problems to solve at the same time.
Yep.
So with that said, Val,
Well, one other thing, why can't we just declare the whole town a TIF zone?
I don't think state law lets you do that.
but there are some
There's
towns,
criteria you have to meet, and it's actually there's a whole submission that you have to do, and it's quite a few pages. It is on our website if you'd like to look at the full submission. if you go on our website and search TIF, you'll see the whole application that Max put together twice now. And it has all kinds of, it tells you the rules and what you're allowed to do and what you're not, but you can't make the whole county.
Okay.
He thought about that.
And we're fortunate because there's sometimes, I think there's a couple so far that don't even know what TIF is, they don't even deal with TIF. And that's an opportunity for them to help them out, but they don't do it.
But I think part of the problem is everybody thinks that you have to have the credit enhancement portion of that. And that's what scares people
Right.
away.
I think this one time I'm thinking of that was.
That's, and they don't have to have that part.
So what is on the agenda for the next meeting?
26 date, right? No.
Yeah.
Is it the 26th?
The 26th is.
Next Thursday. We've got the municipal building left and we were kind of holding off on that because of the fuel stuff. We might not be able.
We might not be able
We might
to.
have to just.
Fight the bullet on that.
Down at River Community Park, planning development. Debt service. And any other finance stuff, right? Okay.
Revenue.
Revenue again.
Revenue, yeah.
Well, we didn't vote on capital either, did we?
The final number on the.
Oh, and capital
Yeah.
too.
So the one thing I would ask is, does anybody have any questions that, or of any of these next departments that are coming back up that you need more information on between now and then? So that Peg and I can be reasonably prepared to have information for you. Go ahead.
The money left over from the Friendship Street School, can we use that any way we want?
So that money left over has already been allocated. There's no more.
Okay.
It's all earmarked for things.
I just want to check, because I know there was,
It's like $12,000.
oh, is that all there is? I thought there was more. I was thinking of more.
The one thing that we didn't have for the capital was the information on the lease to finance.
And I
mean,
still
the
do
lease-
not have that information. That's not that I literally have not gotten that from the fire truck company. And I reached out to them several times, so they're working on it.
If I remember, the only reason we were looking at getting that was to see if adding more to the capital fund this time would actually save us money in the long run,
Right.
right?
I was told I will have it by Thursday.
So we'll have it by next week.
I'm hoping.
Okay. And then that would be it. So next Thursday will be our last time together? I don't know.
And then you, but if there's something else that anybody wants more information on, now would be the time to ask so that we have time to get it together and out to all of you.
I don't need it for this group or, well, for this meeting necessarily, but while I'm thinking about TIF. The documents online, is that a list of everything we've done with TIF up to now?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll see both applications. There was the original in 2019 and then 2024 was when it was updated.
Really what I'm talking about is projects, things that the town has achieved with the use of TIF fund.
You can get that right from Peg.
All right, great. I don't have a specific axe to grind on that. I just like a,
Used to come and give an update
Okay.
from time to time.
you should put it on the back of a t-shirt and sell those.
We've
done a lot.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, Jan and you are the only ones that,
Waldeboro Day.
you're right.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody needs, wants, thinks would be useful?
Would an update on the fire truck money be an email to all of us, or how is
Do you
it?
want it before, if I get it, I don't mind putting it
Yeah, put it
out.
out if you get it, so we.
If I get it, I'll put it out.
It's always appreciated to have the information before the meeting, please.
Anything else?
Any other questions? Is there anything you guys can think of? I know you'll think of something that night and Peg will be like, oh, I wish we had more time to look that up. Any problem, anything with revenue? Because we're gonna go over revenue one more time, right? Any questions, thoughts?
Could be a long night.
Okay.
No longer than right now, but still.
I guess on revenue, my big concern is on the excise tax projection. Just based on how the outlook for the economy has changed versus past experience over the past few years. So that's,
So we presented something to the select board. Do you want us to go over that again? Now, or do you want us to wait?
It won't take long doing that.
Do you have the
Well,
information?
I don't have it right up in front of me, but I know the information.
we
knows
could,
the
we could
information.
talk
Shoot.
about it next time, but
Shoot.
that's my general concern.
So,
well, let me think that you were on the budget committee back in 2007, 2008 timeframe. What did we do back then?
I don't remember that.
When things were starting to drop. We just looked at averages.
I think that's what you did.
so one of the things that might give you guys some
Averages, so last-
insight into it was Peg looked at the history, but also I think part of the issue becomes that everybody thinks that we're basing those numbers on new car sales. And they're going down. But our majority of our revenue comes from
Renewals.
the renewals.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that's good to know. That's, I
right.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Right, so I think that's part of this. We're not basing it on new car purchases. We're basing it on. Well, and we can go into our system and we can look, okay, where are we right now? And who's left to register? So like we can look into that. We can see who's not registered and we can predict what it's gonna be. So. But it's up to you guys. You guys can all play with the revenue as much as you want. We give you our best thoughts.
When usually it's under
We hope.
under revenue.
The confusion and the excise could have been as well. I didn't update the comment. So the past practice that was always done was the 95% of the revenue before. So I think that was part of the confusion. Where we brought in 115% of the budgeted for like 3 years in a row. So I didn't want to go 115% because that Julie gets nervous if I go too close.
I do.
If I, to that, so I
And I like
split
that.
the baby, so I didn't go at the full 115, it was like 106%. So I think that's part of why there was confusion, is I didn't update the comment. But we can give more information if you'd like me to.
I believe you already explained that once, didn't you, or was it just to the select? Oh, okay. I remember hearing this, like deja vu's.
What was the date of the meeting? Like,
Last
Like
Tuesday?
maybe 10.
Last
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay.
I mean, we can produce the same stuff for you guys next week, but
Just as a note, the select board gets these presentations, but the budget committee does not, so it's appreciated when you give us the courtesy of that information.
I was thinking it was here, that's why.
No, I get it, I
was thinking it was
it's
here.
not just about this one topic, it's tough for us because we're like, oh, you guys have already heard it, so it's,
And
but it's the first
and
time we've
that's
heard it.
Part of where they get a lot of information because they meet twice a month all year round. So
We have the auditor come and do their thing. No thing. Give us their report. That kind of thing.
right, yeah, so I mean,
We don't think
if you
about
guys think it might be useful when we have our financial advisor come or the auditor come, maybe we should just send everybody out hey, here's a reminder, come see the select board meeting or something like that. It
Not a
might
bad
be
idea.
useful.
It could save everybody a lot of time, because
But so could not just assuming the worst. Sometimes, I sometimes get that it's hard. And it's hard for us to understand too, how to get information out to everybody. I would love, poor Ben can attest to this from last year. we glommed onto him, like, why are you here? And we're so happy to have you. And I mean,
Right, me.
I looked at him and I was
Write your paper when you want a song.
yeah, so like, and he just comes to learn about the town and he was like glommed on. I'm a glommer and I was like, oh, you're young and you're new and can we please have you? And I mean, I
Hey,
think
friends.
he probably went home and said to his fiance, there's this crazy woman down in the town office, stay away from her. I'm sure Michael said the same thing. I mean, Michael came to meetings and we're like, who's that guy? Ooh, are you new? Oh, oh, you're interested. You have things to say. We were so excited. It was.
And we needed you to counteract the fact that I'm a cynical old fart.
But no, but that's
That was on
so
paperwork.
hard. It's so hard to get people to be excited and interested about local government and to actually want to do it. I spent my Saturday, a portion of my Saturday driving to Vassalboro listening to Damariscotta's budget committee meeting because I live there, but they're the same nights as we are. I was pulling a John Blodgett. And, we have a really, but I will tell you this, we have an awesome budget committee, but the same things. I was happy to see not as many questions. They don't have as many questions as, they have more questions than you guys have, which I think is because we have been together for so long and they get new people almost every year,
It's
but.
also because you provide. a lot of
And
that
you
information
you
before we
provide
have
great,
it.
you
So I
provide
was-
great
I was
detail
happy-
here.
I was happy about that. I was
Yeah.
really, really happy about that. But yeah, so let us know, like, if there's stuff we can do that would help you overcome some of that anxiety, we will be more than happy to provide it.
It's not those, and I have to admit personally, for some reason, I've had trouble getting to the latest select board recordings, and I don't know what it is, what's going
So
on
we
with that.
figured some of that out. Some of it is, it says Waldeboro meeting room. So if you don't type in, and some of that is who's doing the typing in, if we don't put it in exactly the right line, it doesn't hunt and seek it properly. So we went through this last week. Tanya did some and I did some, so they should all be very easily found now.
Because I really feel that as part of, I would be watching the select board or listening to them more frequently and have tried so that I wouldn't be, sitting
Right.
here like, duh.
But yeah, so, and if you sort them by date, and you have to, don't just go where it says select board, go into all videos and sort them by date and you can see them. And they're posted on Facebook, on What's New Waldeboro, she always puts a link to them. So. YouTube.
Planning boards on YouTube.
Everything's on YouTube.
That's the only way you can get them is on YouTube, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think so now, yes.
Yeah.
All right, if it is the budget committee's pleasure, I would accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Anyone opposed? No. Thank you, Scott.
And.
Select board,
and-
like motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made in second, all in favor? Take the vote.
Other way.